Welcome to race 7 of the 8-race series for RWB GT3 League. You join me, Tiger. I'm here tonight with Fergie, RWB Fergie. Say hi, Fergie.
Good evening, folks.
I've lost my commentator buddy, but I've gained a new friend.
Yes.
Rigel is racing tonight. We'll be looking at him. And yeah, so we're at Spa. We're in the last 1.5 minutes of qualifying, and it looks fairly good at the minute. Like I said, this is race 7 of 8. We'll probably run through the standings later on, probably towards the end of the race. Yeah, a minute left. So looking forward to this race. Are you, Fergie?
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to it. I've been sitting watching the qualifying, seeing the times, a few good moves, a few not so good moves, but it will all pan out at turn 1, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we can see Brandon Dove there currently in first position, with Jake Moore, our resident alien, in second, with Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil is third. Our Scottish Warrior is in 4th position, Rodders. And it looks like some of them have pulled off the track with only 30 odd seconds left to qualify, and they're probably not going to get their fast lap in. So it looks like Brandon will secure first position, with Jake in second and Dr. Evil in third, Rodders 4th, and our very own Rigel in 5th. There he is, 5th position. So there we go. There's the standings. You can see that for yourself. Any comments from you just before we start the race? What do you think of those standings, Fergie?
A bit surprised with a few of them. I thought Rodders would have maybe get up there, it being 8/10 down. That's a bit of a surprise. Wasn't expecting that, but there's still turn 1 and there is still turn 2. So let's get the show on the road.
Yeah, very good point. Turn 1, Lausitz, where we expect to see a clean entries by everybody. Remembering, of course, that there's no such thing as a slow racer in this race group. They're all extremely talented. In fact, the slowest is talking to you right now, actually. So they are very quick. I think the stream has stopped. I'm hoping that's a glitch.
I think it might just be transitioning from qualifying to race, so we might just be waiting on the actual race to load.
Yeah, let's hope so. So as I said, that first corner, Lausitz, and then of course down the hill into Eau Rouge, and through the last corner, Radion before the Camel Straight. That's really where that first part there is where the field is going to level out. That's what I think. What do you think?
Definitely down after the Camel Straight, down into that first turn, it will be interesting because there's a lot of Mercedes and a lot of BMWs at the top, and the top end speed on them is phenomenal, so they're just going to pull away. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it all especially plays out. Each car has their different strengths around the track, so it's going to be really interesting to see how it all unfolds.
Yeah. And what sort of speeds are they going to be getting up to along the Camel Straight? 150, 160, something like
that? Depending on car and setup. The Audis might be bouncing off the limiter. I'm not quite sure. Some of them might just be getting into their top end speed, but it will be flat out full way down, and especially with slipstream. It's going to be interesting. Very much interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Crikey, this has taken a long time. I'm hoping it's not crashed. If it has crashed, then I think it's likely that the server will be restarted, and maybe an honesty session with regards to who is in what position. Not quite sure. I'll take a screen grab.
I'm getting the feeling it might have crashed.
I think you might be right. Normally that would have transitioned by now. 20 cars.
Yeah. Well, Billy Jones has put it on the chat saying it's loading. So Fingers crossed that that is what is happening.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just going to jump up in the channel, see what's going on. Okay, folks, quick sit rep for you. Yeah, the server crashed. So what's going to happen is we're going to restart the server, and everyone knows their position that they were in. And so what will happen is there'll be a 5-minute qualifying session, but that's solely just to iron out the sort of handshaking. And then there'll be a rolling start, which will be interesting. So stick around. Until then, as I said, it's due to be starting any minute now. Grab yourself a coffee.
Thanks, sweet.
All right, looks like we've got some action here. The stream is now back live, and I think what's happening now is the racers are loading into the sim. There's quite a large field. There's 20 cars tonight, so stick with it. Let's let them load into the sim. You can see there's 3 minutes left of the qualifying period, or 3 minutes 45. So that'll enable everyone to connect to the server and so forth. Once they're in, we'll pick it back up at that point.
You can see a few people are having a few problems.
Yeah, it
Just
looks
hopefully,
it,
yeah, they're a bit of a disco dancing, but hopefully that's just the server. Be shame if I lost anybody due to disconnection.
Yeah, we can see him starting to load up. I'm showing 20 on the director screen, so yeah, I don't think it'll be long before that qualifying rotates around and they're on the grid. And I think they'll probably go around once to form their positions, which they all know where they qualified, and then they'll have a rolling race on the completion of the first lap, I think.
It's just a shame qualifying didn't work out for them. Some good times.
Yeah, yeah, and I've just I wonder if I can get that back actually. No, I can't. I was hoping I could get back the positions. If I remember rightly, Brandon Dove was in first position with Jake Moore in third. In fourth position was Rodders, and third position was Rodders, and fourth position was Rigel.
No, I think Rodders was in fourth. I think he was 8/10 down.
Yeah. As Hayden goes around the track the wrong way, just to make sure that there's nothing on the track.
Just testing out the marshals.
Just testing out the marshals there. Yeah. He's clearly had a couple of pints of Buckfast this morning before he got into the car. There's Pinpoint looking for good things for Pinpoint today. Done really well last week. I think he finished in 6th position. I was actually considering changing his name to Yo-Yo. He went up and down so much, but the point was he had a fantastic race and finished.
It would be nice to see Pinners instead of admiring the forest and
doing what I do a lot of currently. I either don't know the track or yeah, I just tend to say, I only really tend to say one of two things quite a lot of, which is pass left or pass. So looking at Hayden McLaren there with 45 seconds left to go of qualifying.
It's a nice car, the Chevy. It's very nice and it sounds even nicer.
Very tail happy though, right?
Yeah.
So as the server rotates into the race, we're expecting it to kick Hayden off of the track any second now, and they should then start appearing on the grid.
Right.
Oh, there's a 3-minute warm-up. So they're going to use this time to go out now, because I think the warm-up transitions into the race straight away, I think.
Oh, we've got a spinner.
No, clearly not. Clearly not. That was Hayden McLaren there. Really pushing the boundaries with the marshals today.
And pushing the boundaries on cold tyres.
Indeed, yeah.
All I'm seeing is trees. Is that you're getting?
Yeah, that's right. That's because it's looking at Rodders as he goes up the Kemmel Straight.
Very good looking trees.
Yeah. We might have to see whether we can't change that.
Guys, can you tell me where Dave Crew was in quali?
Do you know what?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I think I was actually looking at that.
I done a screen grab, and then when Rodders said, "Yeah, we all know where we are," I just
There's always one. There's always one.
Folks, Dave Crew is in position 7.
Okay, lovely. No.
yeah, not good.
Yeah.
Not good with the auto director there, chucking us in the trees.
Everyone seems to be rolling around now to the start finish.
Oh, actually, we can jump in with Rodders there as he comes along through Blanchimont. Yeah, we'll watch out for that, for the helicopter shot as they go up the Kemmel Straight, and if we think that's affecting the quality of our stream, we'll change our camera.
See, Rodders is doing a practice box entry. Just making sure he hits his marks.
Yeah. And they've got a pit stop to do, right? There's no time advantage by anyone on the amount of fuel they take on board, because they've just got to change their tyres. But it's when they do that it's pretty crucial, wouldn't you say, Fergie?
So I'm guessing one formation lap round, then go for it.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. Yeah. So yeah, you join us at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. 7k or 4.3 miles. First race here was in 1921, but only one car turned up, so it was pushed to the right, as they say, for the second race, which was actually the inaugural race, which was with motorbikes, and the second stint was by cars. But infamous track, one of the most well-known in the world. In fact, the 24 Hours at Spa was only a couple of years later after the inaugural race in 1924. So fantastic circuit and well loved, and loads of different events happening at Spa.
And we're off. No.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a formation lap as they get into their positions. So we're just looking at them down at Lausitz, down onto the main track. 20 car field tonight, so what they're doing now is they're getting into their positions where they qualified for before the server crashed, which is fantastic, and good sportsmanship by everybody. Everyone knows where they qualified, so yeah, that's what they're doing now. And there's a couple of to the flank there's a couple of umpires that are making sure people are in the right place. But as they come down the hill now to Eau Rouge, well, the next time they come down here they'll be going flat out. How fast roughly, Fergie, through Eau Rouge in these GT3s?
Oh, that's hard to judge, especially at the start of a race. You have cold tyres, fuel like the max, so you might have to lift, but I'm easily about 130, 140. But as the race plays out, it will be just full foot to the floor, let's go.
Yeah, on it like a nun in a cucumber field. You've got to absolutely put your boot down through there, and I think you, if you take the line slightly, you know, slightly to the left or slightly to the right, that's really going to screw you up at the top of Eau Rouge.
Especially if you cut the corner and get a penalty, because it's just going to mess up your whole top end speed straight down to where we are now.
Yeah.
So you really do have to nail your exit speed to keep the momentum going, or you're just going to get overtaken left, right and centre.
Yeah. As we look at Who are we looking at there? We're looking at Mr. Evil there, just going through Malmedy down towards Bruxelles, the corner at the bottom there.
Looks like everybody's got into their positions.
Yep, they're getting into positions. Hopefully, Brandon will. Well, you know, it's his prerogative. He will probably extend out, I expect, along the main fast section of the track towards Blanchimont. But hopefully, they should bunch up towards the chicane and then along the main straight, so that it's not too drawn out. We can see there, I mean, as they're coming down towards the double left from Bruxelles, that they're stretched out a fair bit.
I think they might be going a wee bit slow for this part of the track. If it's going to be a formation lap with their rolling start, a lot of tyre pressures are going low, a lot of tyre temperatures are going low. Maybe if they had kept it going to get into the bus stop chicane, keep the brake temperatures up, the tyres. Whenever this all starts, everybody's tyres are going to be cold.
Yeah.
This is going to be even more interesting into turn one. So that's what we want to see. Hopefully a couple of hero moves.
Yeah, and they're going to have to be pretty cautious around the first corner, Lausitz there. Like Jeremy Carr walking through a council estate. They're going to have to be very, very...
I thought Jeremy Carr would have been at home at a council estate.
Jeremy Carr is watching this at telly. He don't go outside at the minute. Anyone who earns less than 12 grand a year wants his head on a plate.
But guess what, Jeremy Kyle? We're on the air and you're not.
Yeah, and we've got 4 people watching, so... Okay, so they're coming on the fast stretch now towards Blanchimont. I can never pronounce this part. It's the Coubre Paul Friere towards Blanchimont.
Well, I'm going to leave the track names to you, because with my accent, that is not going to happen.
That's a beautiful accent. There's an accent from Northern Ireland there, everybody. So, yeah, wonderful. Better than my gruff, southern, yippity sort of accent. So, yeah, riding with Mr. Evil now, up the chuff of Brandon Dove.
Brandon's pulled away a bit. Evil slept in, I think he has. Oh. I think Evil's missed the mark.
Yeah, he has, and it looks like... yeah.
And Mr. Moore's got him. Oh, Rodders is going to be on his bumper and straight down the hill. I think Evil has missed the mark on that one. But
they all go through the source, all in one piece. Great to see that. Great racing from everybody. In the cabin now with Mr. John D. Right up the chuff of Mr. B. Through the source.
Is Rodders going to have a run? Rodders is having a run.
Let's join Rodders in the cabin.
Oh, is he going to... Oh, I can see him. Come on, Mr. Moore, hold it out. Ah, he's got him. That was Evil, sorry.
In cabin now with Rodders, and of course you can see Jake right in front of him. Jake being Mr. Speedrun, our resident alien. Of course, it's at this point we always say something about our resident alien.
It's just not natural.
No, it's not. Some say if you peel back his eyelids, he has "keep up" tattooed on the inside, and he has throttle pedals for feet. All we know is that he's exceptionally fast on any track and in any.
Well, some say the Stig phones him for advice.
That's right. Some say Chuck Norris. If you translate Chuck Norris in ancient Mayan, it comes out as RWB speed.
I thought we went in Northology into that just to...
So, positions as we are then. Brandon kept his first position with, in first place, second place Jake Moore, third Rodders, we were just riding with him. Then Mr. Evil, John Haig, our our resident commentator Rigel doing exceptionally well there. We'll look more at him in 5th position. He'll be wanting to push up, I know that for sure. Then Madeley, then Crew, then in 8th position Pinpoint, 9th McLaren, Hayden, who's now just moved up to 8th. So we can see them all stretching back there down the main straight as we look from La Source backwards.
We ride on with John now, going downhill. He's got a good run on Evil. This is going to be a close one. Is that Madley behind him? He's going to have a good run too.
In cockpit with Rigel then.
There's some pull with a Nissan.
Yeah, we'll come back and visit Rigel later on. No doubt he's going to keep pushing hard. There you go, he'll exploit that opportunity.
But is he going to fight back? I think Evil's going to... Oh, he's going to back off.
Yeah, he's got him, hasn't he? Great racing there.
Yep, now he's got Madley on his tail. Just that one wee snap, just one mistake. That's all it takes.
Yep, just a little bit late on your braking point, or just miss your reference point slightly, and you can be sure that whoever's behind you will exploit it, especially with this group. Cleanly, I might add. Remember, I've said it before on previous streams: race clean, race fair, then race for position. That's what these guys do, and that's Pinpoint there. I think you said a smack.
Pinners, dude.
Oh, that's not good. He will be absolutely seething about that. As we watch Dave Crew go Blanchimont through 150 plus miles an hour up towards the chicane. Right behind him, he's got Madley. No, he hasn't. Madley's in front of him, behind Dave Crew. Who have we got?
McLaren.
Yeah, Hayden, yeah.
Hayden got a good run on him. Dave's also got a good run on Madley, who is cancelling out. Come on, Dave, put the foot down. Come on. Keep it clean, keep it tidy. Stay behind him.
Through our Rouge, we saw Madley there just skipping to the left as he just loses a bit of traction around the corner here on the Kemmel Straight. This is where I think the Merc's got more top end than that Corvette.
Oh, definitely. The Merc has the best top end speed. The brakes aren't all that good, but the top end speed, and with this track, it's just going to come alive. I think Madley might be holding Dave up, not intentionally, but I think Dave might have a wee bit more speed at this time of the race.
It does look on that but on that part there, the Kemmel, that Dave looked like he had more speed. But you know what? He just wasn't close enough for a reach around at the top of Eau Rouge there, and as a result of that, just not enough stretch on Kemmel to close it up. So Dave Crew, we stay with Dave Crew as he's just about a second behind Madley in the front there. Madley being about, what are we looking at there? We're looking at about half a second in front of, half a second behind Mr. Evil. Yeah, so they're all fairly close, aren't they? We seem to forget they're travelling, 130, 150 miles an hour, and half a second between these cars is nothing.
Especially Sector 3, and what they're driving in now, it's mainly just full speed. And when you're beside somebody or behind somebody, you feel the turbulence or you feel the kick in the pull. Oh, who's that one off? McLaren missing his braking point, completely sucked in, like with the slipstream.
Oh yeah, that's not good. He's realigning himself on the track, but of course he actually went against the flow of the traffic there whilst the race was on, and whilst there were cars coming through the chicane there. That's undoubtedly a steward's inquiry.
Yeah, but I think might be classified unsafe returning to the track.
Yeah.
And he's also lost a lot of places when he was
Very
fighting with
much so.
Dave, so he's went from 8th to 14th in the space of one corner. So I'm sure he's kicking himself right now.
Yeah, no doubt. He'll be sweating to get back up there. Like Theresa May on Friday. Watch out for Hayden, because he will be pushing himself to get up there. No. The auto director has stayed with Dave Crew. I think that's probably because of the distance to Madley, and it will undoubtedly be because of the algorithm of working out the space differential between some of the corners. Although it looks like Madley's a fair way in front there. What sort of time are we looking at? Looking at a second?
Well, looks like Madley's catching evil, because Dave has fallen back about 1.2, 1.3 second. So maybe Dave's watching his tyres, or he's just basically watching his fuel. But he has dropped back. Oh, we're now on board with John. I believe we're in the BMW.
Yeah, we're in the, I think it's the M6, isn't it?
Yeah, M6. Beautiful looking car. Absolutely beautiful.
Quick sit rep, guys. Top 5 then. Brandon Dove on the 5th lap. His last lap was a 2:17. Jake Moore, our resident evil, our resident alien, our resident xenomorph, in 2nd position. His last lap was 2:17.8. 3rd position, Rodders, last lap 2:18.5. 4th position, John Haig, Rigel, our fellow commentator, up there 2:18.8. And 5th position, Mr. Evil there, and his last lap being a 2:18.9.
It does look like the field is spread out, looking at the times. Apart from Pinpoint, who is 2 laps down. Shame to see that, what happened to Pinpoint. I would like to know what happened. Hopefully we'll get to find out what went on there. Did he lose it coming out of the corner? Was he tapped? Did he run wide?
Yeah, it looked like he'd... was it along the Kemmel Straight where he had his he hit against the wall?
I thought it was the second corner before the back straight.
Right. I'm not sure, but I think he may have retired 2 laps down. It's probably a fair assessment he had. I'm wondering actually whether we can drag Pinpoint into the commentator's box for a quick comment, but it looks like he has left the track. He's left the car in the pits and he's stormed off, and anyone who knows Pinpoint will know that you won't want to go after him with a microphone.
Yeah, but I'm having a wee look through Discord and I can also see he's left the chat, so Pinpoint is gone. Shame.
Yep.
Really, really good. We're now on board with McLaren. He's got a lot of work to do to get back up to where he was.
Yeah, and just looking at the field now, we're riding with Justin Madley, with RWB Madley there, and he's right up the chuff of Evil, only 0.7 to 0.9 gap there. Evil likewise, 0.5 to 0.7 behind Rigel. So these 3 here, they're so close together that they could give each other a reach around before the end of the first lap. So watch out for the battle between these positions for 4th, 5th and 6th.
If they keep the driving up the way they are now, the pit stop strategies will definitely play a big part. Who times it nicely, who misses their marks, who has to wait longer. It's going to be very interesting to see who makes the first jump. Really?
Yeah. And when would you expect them to start coming in for their pit stops? Around 30 minutes, something like that?
Roughly around 30 minutes. it all depends on the cars too. Some cars are really good on their tyres, others just completely destroy them in a matter of laps. But with Brandon up in front and he's 8 seconds, he has a good sort of window to play with. But with everyone else, especially if you're battling with somebody, you're going to have to go in when they go in to try and basically keep your race alive.
Yeah, and a quick stop press moment, and that's our resident alien, Jake Moore, is now down in 14th, so he clearly had a problem. We're riding with Gabsy now, I believe, looking at Jake there in the Merc. So he obviously had a problem somewhere, and the auto director didn't pick it up. Not sure what happened there, but yeah.
Especially Mr. Moore in the BMW, that's not a good sign. Definitely had a mistake somewhere, maybe a slowdown. They can catch that. But
yeah,
it's putting away from Gabsy. Gabsy's in the Porsche, which clearly has been capped somewhere with one of the recent updates on Race Room. If anyone from Sector 3 or Race Room watching or listening, please sort out Porsche. Whatever you did, hit the reset button, please. Don't care. Nobody needs to get fired or sacked. Just hit the reset button. That's all. Thank you.
I couldn't agree more. In fact, that is pretty much our whole club, RWB International. That's our impression throughout this whole league. Those who have got hundreds, thousands of hours in the Porsche know that the Porsche has definitely been nerfed in some way. Whether it was too tricked out beforehand or not is neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is that now the Porsche just is not in parity with the other GT3 cars. That's our opinion and view. You may disagree, but that's our view. Yeah.
As a Porsche driver, and from driving this car on the track and driving with Gabsy, who we're on board with now, the Porsche would not be sitting this far behind the BMW. It would be challenging it off the line, and especially off the corners, but it's not. They've definitely done something to the car, and I don't like it, so please change it back, hit the reset button. Thank you very much, and just give me my Porsche back.
Yeah, give me the Porsche back.
Just give me the Porsche back.
And there goes Jake down the hill towards Eau Rouge there, and I'm sure, watch out for him. Watch out on the leaderboards there. He's 14th at the position. I'm willing to bet that it won't stay there for long if that car is still okay, and you're right, and that all he got was a slowdown. Is it strict around here, Fergie, with regards to track limits?
It's not as strict as most tracks have been. It's coming up through a rouge, that you need to pay attention to, because if you get a penalty over that, it screws your top speed up going down the back straight, the main straight. But other times, that's you away with most things. Just don't basically take the piss.
Yes. Yeah, as we see Jake, he just took Marco there, and is crikey, he's already gained on who's in front of him there. Let's have a look on Hayden in the Corvette.
Well, it looks like Banksy's not having a good time with T in the Nissan. BMW sitting on his tail.
Yeah.
Not really sure on the top end speed of the Nissan. Haven't drove it, but it does look like it's got some pull.
Yeah, Godzilla has got 530 plus horsepower under that bonnet, but it just doesn't seem to be quite so. As we see a side-by-side battle with Hayden and with Charger, and a little bit of a scrape or a coming together, but Charger took the defensive there perfectly, like OJ Simpson second time round. There was a bit of a bump there, I think.
I think he might have just lost it under par.
Yeah.
I don't think he touched Charger. I think he just put the par down too soon.
Yeah.
The Charger is making that fat ass very fat.
Very, very fat, but you know what? Fair play. He had the line. As we see Jake Moore just getting out of place there, chasing Charger down the hill towards Eau Rouge. Charger will be charging ahead, and Hayden right behind Jake Moore there through Eau Rouge. looking like he might try it at the top of Radion before the Camel Straight, but I think Jake's just got him in that BM.
Mr. Moore's car it's looking very twitchy. Doesn't look settled. He doesn't look comfortable driving it. I don't know. Something doesn't seem right with the car.
Do you think it got damaged when he obviously had a slowdown, or he slowed down? Although, you know, he's certainly holding his own, but I think you're right. Maybe that's the setup. Maybe he needs to sack his racing.
I think he might have had damage in the bus stop. Remember, he spun. I think he might have just clipped.
Look at that, super close, going on the inside there towards a double left.
Well, Charger hold it. Charger hold. Yeah, come on, Charger will hold. Force.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, and he takes him. He's got him.
Ah, Charger.
God, there he goes.
I was hoping the Porsche would hold it out.
Some say when he was a small baby, he would only speak in exhaust tones. His blood is green, and then on a Tuesday in Kappa Beta 19 in the Andromeda Galaxy, they actually call it Speed Day. That's what they.
And some say he built the TARDIS for Doctor Who.
That's right, yeah. And the Stig has an alter to speed.
On auto that.
Hayden up the chuff of Charger there. Looks like, I mean, not a lot he can do coming towards it. I mean, you know, Charger's got the defensive line there on the inside coming into the chicane. Hayden can't take him because it's just too tight on the exit, and Charger exploits that and extends away now. You know, away from away.
The Porsche is just too big to overtake into that corner. It's not. You just have to think smart. When I've sat behind Porsche loads of times, it is a lot bigger than what it looks. Sitting watching it now, it looks reasonably, but when you're actually in the car and you're racing, it's bigger. It's like the TARDIS. It's bigger than it looks.
It's got a big old fat ass and hard to get around.
And it's really hard to overtake that fat ass when it's wiggling about.
But I have to say, Charger is racing really, really well. But it looks like Hayden takes the inside line. Interesting why Charger didn't take the defensive line there as he saw Hayden. But you know what? He's stuck up the chuff now. He's hanging out the back of him. He can smell methane from that position.
I know what Charger's playing at. Charger's thinking, right, okay, you want to sit in my back bumper, that's fine. Oh,
someone went off there. Who was that? That was, we're looking at Flak 9, so
I think it's FX. FX hit the gravel.
Oh dear, that's such a shame. We had a couple of minutes with FX before the start of the race, and he's not feeling too good as it is. You know, never mind FX. He's in 18th, so I'm sure he'll rejoin and make his own way around. As we look at Mr. Evil in God.
Godzilla.
Yeah, as we're looking at the commentator, my other commentator buddy, Rigel in third position, doing fantastic there. What's Rigel in? He's in a Chrysler, isn't he? Yeah.
No, I think Rigel is in the Merc.
You're right, it is a Merc. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, and Rigel's doing fantastic there.
I think that would be the smug livery. You know, the pretty boy livery, where you constantly have to look at yourself and make sure your hair is nice and you've got the nice eyebrows, and so I think that's why he has that livery. I mean, each to their own. If he spends half his day looking in the mirror, that's
beautiful chrome. Rigel on it like a pigeon outside Greg's. Look at him go. In a chrome livery. No one will be brave enough except Rigel to be in a chrome livery, but you know what? He's holding his own. He's third position, so say what you like, but that livery is obviously doing well for him.
And we've got Mr. Bean and John Boy. Who do you think's going to come out on top?
Well, they're fairly close, aren't they? What's the time differential? 0.6 of a second. Yeah, I mean, they're so close, aren't they? He's up his chuck like a dog on a leg. I mean, he can smell him from there. He knows what he had for dinner. He's that.
He can definitely smell him. But it's two BMWs, fair enough. One's a Z4, one's the M6. But
Banksy Kai, look, slow down penalty for track limits abuse. He'll be seething now and punching the dashboard, I've no doubt. That won't make him very happy.
No, especially that Banksy has probably got that incident report already filed out, waiting to go. But it was probably just a genuine mistake. Take your eye off the prize. We've all did it loads of times, been racing, not paying attention to what's going on. Completely missed the braking zone.
Yeah, and we're with John D behind Mr. Bean there, and behind John D by you know,
He's got
a few seconds. It's closing up. 7 seconds. Now 6.9 seconds is our resident alien Jake. I'm willing to bet in one lap he'll catch it up.
John's going for it. No.
There's
somebody in the pit. It looks like Dave is in the pits. Mr. Crew.
Dave Crew.
First to pit. Well, from what I can tell.
Let's find out, shall we? Yep, he's in the pits there. Dave Crew, first one into the pits. Still with John D, and old Jake, our alien, is 5 seconds behind.
It was 7 seconds before we jumped to Dave, so he's gained 2 seconds.
We can see him in the background.
There he is.
Unbelievably, he's just so... Banksy Kai back on in 7th position. He'll be pushing hard now. He's obviously taken his slow down penalty.
Banksy, who is our resident modder.
Modder and fantastically well talented racer. He's on it like a Bristolian at a night.
Was chasing down Audi. We're now Mr. Evil or Dr. Evil.
Yeah, the auto director flicked off. It flicked off. There's Rigel with Evil in Godzilla. Yeah, the auto director is flicking quite a bit, isn't it? I don't really want to interrupt that because the algorithm's quite good, and I know we've done our own sort of updates, etc. But so pitted so far. Everyone's on hard tyres, interestingly enough. Oh, the stream's stopped. Oh. No, we're back on. Thank God.
Back on. Well, on my screen it looks like Evil has caught the back off. All the qualities.
I'm going to press press F. There you go. Press F5 and then it'll reload and you'll get it back.
Come on, Evil. Do this. The car's got the power. It's got the grunt.
I think Madley's had a problem because he's dropped a few places. Jake's just gone past Madley, and yeah, 3 seconds behind John D now. That's extraordinary. I mean, John D is none of these are slow. I mean, their consistency in speed is about as fast as you can get, and for someone like Jake to in a lap and a half to gain what was essentially 8 seconds. That's just extraordinary, isn't it?
I have no words. I genuinely have no words. It's just mind blowing. Like,
I think he drinks castor oil and bathes in Valvoline and he eats carbon chunks. There's no other words for it for Jake, old Speedmon. It's exceptional to watch it. Let's have a recap because it's easy to forget about the rest of the field, but just a recap on the top 3 there. Brendan Brandon Dove on lap 13 now in first, with a 5-second gap to Rodders. 3 seconds behind him is Rigel, our commentator out there, doing fantastic in the chrome. It's a Merc, isn't it, Fergie?
Yeah, it's the GT3 Merc. Can't remember.
Yeah, and we're looking at Evil there and Godzilla hunting down Rigel, but of course Rigel isn't going to give that up to Evil. Evil will have to take it away from him.
Oh,
But
nice
Audi behind
move.
Evil. Oh,
Nice
beautiful.
move. FX, and looks like the medication's kicking in.
It's kicking in. We can't tell you what medication that was, but it's done absolutely well. FX clearly on it like a fox in a wheelie.
Who have we got pitting?
That's
Rodders.
Rodders pitting now. So we got two in the pits at the minute. We've got Rodders and Brandon Dove both in the pits. That's let Rigel extend out, and he's extending out in first. Old Rigel out there extending away like Zola Bud on Nikes. I don't expect you're too young to remember Zola Bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, she used to run in bare feet. Now imagine how quick she would have been with a pair of Nikes. So we got Mark Bean and John D, Mr. Bean and John D. They're both in the pits at the minute. Mr. Evil in second position outside behind Rigel, only a second actually behind Rigel, hunting him down.
The question now is, who's going to pit first? Evil?
Yeah.
Or Mr. Hughes?
Well, look, I mean, here's the thing. First, second, third and fourth have not pitted yet, which means that Jake Moore in fifth position would be in first position. Again, that's just extraordinary. I keep saying it, but that is, isn't it? You know, he was in 14th at one point.
But has Jake pitted?
Yeah, he has. He's pitted.
Oh. And the time, 26 seconds. It's going to be close on exit. The average pit is roughly, what, but 20-25 seconds, depending if they get the pit stop right.
And Rigel's tyres there must be shot, surely. I mean, is he going to go in for a pit? Surely. There he goes. Evil's now going to extend away. Evil's now, Mr. Evil, his tyres are shot to pieces, make no mistake about that. He'll be going around on this lap sweating like glitter in PC World.
Gary Glitter and Toys R Us, that's what he'll be doing right now.
Gary Glitter and Toys R Us, yeah. Sweating like a nonce in a Barney suit.
He just needs to get the head down now, do an absolute perfect in-lap, and he might be in with a chance, but Mr. Moore has now got it down to 24 seconds.
Yep. Mr. Audi in second position there in his BM, which is a contradiction in terms. If my name was Mr. Audi, I'd drive an Audi all of the time. But there you go, he's in second position, 17 seconds behind Evil at the minute. Evil and Audi both on old tyres. Yep.
The rules for this season was that you cannot drive a car that you drove in the previous season. So everyone driving now.
Who was that? Was that Charger that went off?
No, it looked like a BMW. I think it might be FX again. Not too sure.
Oh dear.
Gabsy's under a bit of pressure.
And we're riding with Cos now, Martin. Riding with Cos, right? I mean, he's super close to Gabsy in the Porsche there. Those two are right up each other like a Brighton man in the mid-70s at the Blue Oyster Club. Super close.
Well, he's got the right car. He's got the Chubba Chop car. So, Gabsy's having none of it. because no, he's too far back. And we're on with Mr. Moore, who is just driving around, having a lovely...
Having a look at that. Clear track in front, clear track behind, and he knows that Mr. Evil and of course Mr. Audi are yet to pit and are sliding around on tyres that are like ice skates. Quite exceptional. As we ride with Cos, RWB Cos. Look at that. Look how close they are.
Oh, Gabsy. Very, very defensive line. Holds it.
Cos was hanging out of Gabsy there, hanging out of the rear of him like a bout of Delhi belly, close up, slippery and threat.
He's too far back to have another go. I think he might just hold off, let the tyres cool down, let everything settle, and go for another go. But he is putting Gabsy under a lot of pressure. And it's the Porsche, Gabsy, it's not you, my friend, it's the Porsche. It killed the Porsche.
As Jake Moore takes first position now. Jake is in first position.
With a 10-second lead.
10-second lead. How is that?
Oh, Gabsy's
Gabsy's hit the wall on the double left. Oh, good grief. Oh, I'm feeling it.
Was he hit or did he lose it?
I think. I'm gonna have to take a deep breath. I think they just lost traction. I don't think there was any funny business there. I think he just lost traction and on the double left, and yeah, fate. Let's have a look at the front of that Porsche. Oh dearie me.
Too bad, Gabsy.
But he kept his position. No, he didn't. No, he's 18th. Oh dear. As John D just goes into the pits, riding with Dave Carew in the Merc, and behind him is Madley. Madley, 0.7 of a second behind him. He'll be looking to close that gap along this stretch downhill towards the double left. Brandon Dove in second position, 10 seconds behind Jake, and he's got a 6-second airlock behind him to Rodders. As we ride with Marco taking the inside line there from Flak 9 in the Audi. Some good driving there.
He's going to have the bigger balls. The Audi's.
Flak 9 will hold his position as Cos just got a slow down penalty for track limit abuse. Yeah, Flak 9's perfectly placed, isn't he, for the next corner down towards the hill there.
This is where the Audi will have better traction, better grip. But it was all clean.
Alert, guys, news alert. Brandon is closing on Jake. It went from 10 seconds to 8 seconds, but now it's
it's back up to 10.
Yeah. But the race is with these two for 13th and 14th position. Flak 9 looks like he's extended away a little bit, but Marco is hanging on to it.
It did look like he was pulling away, but Marco, it's coming back. The Audi doesn't have a good top end speed.
Yeah.
So this is where the Porsche will come into its own, and the Porsche has good brakes. Maybe he'll close the gap. Yep.
Yeah, he took the faster line there through that chicane, and that's given him the advantage along the straight here towards Lausitz. Super. These are, Marco maybe brake slightly later, catch him on Lausitz. Yeah, look, he's got a straighter exit. Straighter exit.
Keep it clean, Marco.
Can he keep it going down the hill, Fergie?
Just stay where you are. Don't try anything. Just keep it clean. Keep your nose in. Come on. Oh,
look at that. Beautiful. He's got him, surely.
Oh, no.
Unbelievable. Oh, surely he's going to take him
Come
coming
on,
up.
Marco.
He's got the inside line. He's got it. He's got it.
Come on.
He's got it.
Can you hold it? Can he hold it? Yeah, he's got it. Well done.
Hell,
well done.
Mate, that's fantastic. Fantastic. On it like a Dalek on a dust.
We're on Marauders now. Lonely race. He is 15 seconds behind Mr. Moore, who has literally just come out of nowhere to take first place.
And what's he got? 6 seconds to Rigel behind him, and Rodders has got a good
No,
6
we're now
second
8 seconds.
8
We're
seconds.
now 8
Wow.
seconds.
Wow, 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 wow.
Mr. Evil's under some pressure.
Jake, as he extends it, just unbelievable. He's in first position from all the way back down there, and some very good pitting tactics in order to come out where.
Oh, had a bit of a freeze moment again. I'm calling Stewart's inquiry on Mr. Moore. I think his car needs to go and be tested and weighed.
Go through scrutineering again.
Yes, the stewards need to call that into play, please. Definitely tyre tampering or fuel tampering, something. But no, everything is legit.
Everything is legit, and you know what? If you're watching this and you're not a member of RWB, you know, come along and have a race with us on Thursday nights in our mini league and see whether we're a fit for you and you're a fit for us. And come and race against any of these guys, anybody, including Fergie. I sort of put myself in brackets, but these are all fantastically talented, exceptionally well known in the sim racing community, and you'll learn a great deal from them just racing with them. It's a real pleasure to watch 20 cars race around Spa GT3, and you know what? Everyone's raced clean and fair, and you know, that's what it's all about, wouldn't you say, Fergie?
That's definitely what it's all about. And anyone watching, it's just not league racing. There is a lot of casual racing too, so please don't be put off thinking that it's just league racing where it's constant, but it's not. There, like Tiger said, there's mini leagues and there is just casual races. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and follow the link below and come and race with us. You're more than welcome. Everyone is welcome. Nobody will ever be turned away. So
yeah,
please
absolutely.
come and join. And you never know, you could be sitting watching yourself back on the replay one week going, that is me.
That's right.
You never know.
Or even going toe to toe with speed, perhaps. I mean, yeah. If you're a club, you know, who's your best? Who's your quickest? Why don't you come and have a league race with us? Come try your hand with RWB Speed Mod. A warning though, you better get a pie dish out for humble pie, because you're going to have to prepare to eat it, because none of us can catch him. Yeah, please do come and try your hand.
If Charlie can win the golden ticket to Willy Wonka's factory, anybody can take on Speed.
Yeah, sure. As we ride with Madley then in 7th position, up the chuff of Dave Crew, up through Eau Rouge, through Radion and into the Camel Straight.
Maybe a bit far back.
A little bit far back there. But he does, that Corvette is quick, isn't it? He's only 0.5 of a second behind Dave Crew now. I think Dave Crew in the team leagues, I think Dave Crew is Rigel's partner. Very good down the hill there. And we see Charger there has got a slow down penalty for track limits abuse. Gotta say, in this league over the past 4 races now, Charger really has been hit quite hard with those penalties. Yeah, for sure. Let's
that's just his fat ass. That's all it is. It's just Charger has a fat ass.
The Porsche. Yeah.
And no, just in general, Charger has a fat ass. So he likes to swing it about a bit.
And Jake has got a slow down penalty. That'll be to the advantage of Brandon. Of course, we don't know what that, how much that slow down penalty was. I didn't see, but he's got a slow down penalty nonetheless. And Brandon has exploited that. He's now 4 seconds behind. Let's ride with Brandon.
It's still dropping. We're going to go into 3 seconds.
Riding with Brandon Dove then. Brandon Dove coming down the hill, 4 seconds behind Jake. Looking at the rear wing of Jake now, just going up through Eau Rouge. We can just see in the distance there Brandon, but I think Jake will use this opportunity with clean air now to
maybe during the pit stop stage, Jake probably only changed the front 2 tyres. Maybe everyone else changed all 4. That's why he's had such better pit stop. It's the only thing I can think of, that you can't just jump from 14th to 10 seconds up the road.
quite unbelievable, yeah. But you know, all is fair and above board. There's no question there. And
definitely, it's just a talented driver.
And every single one of these, every single one of these guys, fantastic guys, right? So, lap 20 then, Jake in first position, 4 seconds behind him, Brandon Dove. We're riding with Brandon now. What's that, 7 seconds behind him, Rodders, then Rigel, then Evil in 5th place, Dave Crew in 6th, Madley in 7th, Mr. Audi in 8th, Banksy Kai 9th, and Hayden in 10th. Hayden's been up and down the positions throughout this race, hasn't he?
Oh, I can see it's only down to 3 seconds now. First to second. Brandon is pulling them in. 2 seconds. Maybe Mr. Moore went too fast, too hard. Now paying the price.
Yeah, maybe. As you say, what's that? 2.5 seconds?
And at one point that was, 10 seconds? Then it went down to 8.
Yeah.
And it's now...
Yeah. Ten minutes left then at Spa-Francorchamps, this race 7 of an 8-race league with RWB International. Fantastic circuit this. Most people have got experience riding or racing.
On board with Charger, seems to be having the only race, no one in front, no one behind.
Yeah, we're with FX UK now with in the BM. What was he there? Was that about 3 seconds to flank?
Roughly around about 3 seconds. 2 seconds now.
And I think we're riding with Mark Bean, Mr. Bean there in the BM. Is that the Z4? I think that's the Z4, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Z4. It's a lovely car. Godzilla. Looks like he's dropped back a bit, that's it. No more pushing. Oh well, I thought that was going to be a nice wee battle straight to the end.
Well, I think this is going to be the battle here, Fergie. I think between Brandon and Jake. You know, Brandon has really closed up now. Only, 1.4 seconds away, and a late breaker into the chicane to close it up some more.
Mr. Moores went too fast, too hard, too soon. The tyres. What lap did he pit in?
I can't remember now, but you think these tyres now they'll be losing their grip significantly, right?
As I say, hitting the wall or over the cliff, as you say, with the tyres. But you can see he's struggling. And Brandon is going to be putting on the pressure, especially coming down this Camel Straight.
Yeah, these two so close. Look at that. Look at that. They could give each other a reach around by the time they end. By the time they finish this lap, they're that close.
See Rodders in the background.
Yeah,
it's going to get
just
it.
Looking at these.
Yep. So these two start to battle away. Rodders is going to come into play. So the next 7 minutes is going to get very exciting.
I think Jake has got some serious tyre issues there, and Brandon has been more conservative with his as he looks on the inside for the double left. Oh, crikey, crikey, crikey. What do you think, Fergie?
He has him. He really does. He just needs to, once he gets past him, he's going to pull away. There's no doubt about it. Mr. Moore, his tyres they're shot.
It almost looks like Jake is actually holding him up, so Jake is now driving defensive. I think Brandon can go faster than him. He's clearly got much more traction. His tyres are much better than Jake's, and Jake will suffer along this bit. This is very fast towards Blanchimont, right?
Yeah, Brandon needs to clear him as quick as possible. The more he fights, the more Rodders is catching up. He needs to try and put a buffer zone in between himself and Rodders. And Mr. Moore is playing into the hands of Rodders.
Unbelievable. A slow down penalty for track limits abuse. But you know what, that will, and of course Brandon has utilised that. Fair play to Jake, immediate slowdown there.
He needed to get rid of it as soon as possible.
Yes.
Iron on the anchors was probably the best thing he could do. He did not want to carry that penalty coming up to this first corner.
Yeah.
And by the looks of it, I think he still might be carrying it.
Yeah. That was fantastic. Fantastic pushing there from Brandon, who will now, got some nice clean air in front of him. He's clearly, he's sliding around up Eau Rouge there, so he hasn't got. His tyres have been affected, no doubt about that. But he's got more grip than Jake, I think. So he'll push out as far as he can, as quick as he can. I think with only how long left now?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
And Rodders is now on his tail. It's maybe he could hold on to third. He might keep third.
So Rodders is behind Jake now. What, 4 seconds? No.
Oh.
3 seconds.
3 seconds.
Yeah.
But what state is Rodders' tyres?
Yeah.
And it did look like Rodders run wide.
Jake has dropped now 3 seconds away from Brandon. Interesting to see what I was going to say, if we'd stayed with Jake, how his car reacted going down into Brussels, essentially. Brussels corner.
I'm guessing it's just his tyres. His tyres have just give up.
Yeah, and this is this is a fast circuit, so fast circuit and some long corners which beat the hell out of tyres, which is why they all went with hards, no doubt. 4 seconds now, Jake behind Brandon.
He's still 10 seconds up. Or no, sorry, it would be 6 seconds up on Rodders. So he just needs to let cool. We're riding on board now with Charger.
With Charger now in 12th. Interestingly, Jake's last lap was a 2:21, so he must have had
Oh,
3-second penalty. What's happening there? Who's that?
Well, hide it, Mr. Moore. Get above. When did this happen?
When did that happen? What?
Brandon must have went off, and
Really?
it's the only thing I could think of.
Unbelievable.
4 seconds up the road. Now
we are going to have to, after this race, folks, we'll be talking to first, second and third. We'll ask what happened there. What lap is this? 24. So remember that, Fergie, lap 24. We'll ask Brandon what happened there in order to allow Jake to exploit the opportunity to take first. But crikey, that came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Must have locked up going into the bus stop, and
Yeah.
he's shot on, but there was no track warning abuse or off limits. So we need to find that out what happened. But
Yeah.
Brandon's not giving up, he's still fighting back.
No. And there's a good, I'd say, another 2 laps before the end of the race. Yeah, as Brandon, is that Brandon? No, that's Jake through Brussels. I'm going to call it Brussels. It's not Brussels, it's Bruxelles. Oh, I can't even say it.
Oh, he's going to have a good run.
He's going to have a good run. He's looking at staying on the inside for Blanchimon, isn't he?
He's giving him yeah, there's a lot of space given. It's fair, it's clean. We dab with the brakes.
Yep.
But he holds it.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Can Brandon stay with him coming up that straight towards Lausitz? I think. Yep. That Corvette is a BMW eater, isn't it? It just seems to have so much long legs. Brandon then, right up the chuff of Jake, so close he can smell methane. As they come down the hill, up towards the Rouge. Oh, will he get a penalty for that?
No, I don't think he'll get a penalty. It just looked like the back end stepped out a wee bit. But he's going for it.
Oh, he's going for it on the outside.
Come on, lads, not 1 minute to go before the end of the race. Don't fuck it up, come on.
Into Lacombe on the inside, forcing Brandon to go on the inside.
He's
down
got
towards
it.
Malmedy.
Brandon retakes first place.
Yeah, very well done.
But Rodders is just there. One wee mistake from Jake.
Yeah, and all the time,
Rodders is going to pounce.
Yeah, and you know, we were looking at them, and all of a sudden, Rodders went from 7 seconds to 3 seconds.
Rodders can smell it. He knows what's happening.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the last lap. 2 seconds.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, he'll be on the final lap.
This is it, folks. Oh, FX got to slow down.
Will Jake take Brandon on the last lap? I don't think so, Fergie. I think Brandon's got the pace and the time.
He's too far back. Rodders, mate. No, too far back.
I think Rodders will have a pop at Jake.
He'll do or die situation. But I think Brandon's got it. Mr. Moore second, Rodders third.
Rodders just done the fastest last lap. Actually, no, he didn't actually. Mr. Evil did with a 2:17. And 2:18 Rodders done compared to Jake and Brandon's 2:21 and 20.
And that's it, folks. Race
That's
over.
it.
Congratulations.
Race over. Absolutely fantastic. So, Fergie, do you want to, at an appropriate time, drag Brandon, Jake and Rodders down into the commentators box, and we'll have a quick chat with them at the end of the race when they've gone firm. But for our viewers there and for the video, first position Brandon, second position Jake, third position Rodders, and you can see the positions of everyone else thereafter. Great job by Rigel there in fourth, fifth with Mr. Evil, sixth Madley, seventh Dave Crew, and Outh, Mr. Eighth, 8th in the round. Fantastic. That was a really good race, wasn't it, Fergie?
It was a fantastic race. A lot of overtaking. A few incidents I want to find out what happened to Pinners, what happened to Gabsy, what happened to Mr. Moore and Brandon. There's just so much I want to find out.
Yeah, for sure. As we see Charger now coming to finish his lap in 12th position, and Marco behind him in the other Porsche. Good, a couple of penalties by Charger, but a well-held central field by Charger.
Especially being in a car that's been handicapped. Well done, Charger.
Yeah, well done. Very well done. Well done, Marco.
Yep.
14th position, we should flick to him in a minute, is RWB Cos. Oh no, there's Marco still. There he is. Yeah, that's Cos. Martin, as he comes up towards the chicane.
Still a bit of a battle with the FX.
Still going for it, you know.
Come on,
still
FX.
Come on, can he get him on the last bit?
Oh. Got him on the line.
Oh, beautiful 360. So there you go, that is the end. The rest of the field not afforded the opportunity to finish the lap because they were a lap down. So as I said, you know, Brandon in first, Jake in second, and Rodders in third. Brilliant. Fergie, do you want to drag them down?
Yep, give me 2 seconds.
Well, what was your favourite bit of that race? Let us know. So I think we've got first, second, and third positions with us now. I think we're still streaming. Not sure. Are we still streaming?
I'll bring Brandon down.
I think we are. Yeah. So wonderful. Brandon, first position. Absolutely fantastic race, and it was very clear in the last 3 laps you were going toe to toe with speed with Jake there. Do you think that how were your tyres? It seemed you had an advantage with the tyres and the speed.
Yes. So I saw that Jake put a bit earlier in the race, and I was a bit confused. I wasn't sure if he had planned something that I didn't know about, if that was going to work out better for him. So I was sort of just keeping that in the back of my mind. I carried my race on as usual, pitted it halfway through the race, and everything was going well. I had a spin because my tyres had some drop off at one point, and that was a bit scary. And then later on in the race, obviously, I caught up to Jake with his tyres dropping off, and mine were still decent, and I managed to get through. I had another wee moment, but then managed to sneak it through near the end of the race.
Yeah, wonderful. Fergie, I think you've got something to ask him about, what was it, lap 24?
Yes, guys, what happened lap 24? Brandon, you were 4 seconds up the road, and then we cut the Charger, and then we went back, and speed had overtaken you. What happened? Did you go off the track? Did you miss your braking zone? We both were sitting.
This was at the end of the race?
Yeah.
First corner, my rear clipped the inner wall coming to the first corner, and that looped me around, so I lost time there and dropped behind Jake again.
Yeah. And it was very clear speed on certainly in the last 4 or 5 laps. Talking about those first, that your tyres had gone off, and you were just losing traction on some of the corners, and were getting a couple of speed slows downs. I bet right at that time of the battle with Brandon, you could have really done without that.
Yeah, it was very clear from the outset that Brandon had better race pace around there than me, so I thought I'd nip on the alternate strategy where I just changed my rear tyres in the pit stop, knowing full well that my tyres would drop off the end, but I was thinking I'd have a big enough gap and I could manage it, but the tyres just dropped off. They usually drop off to a second, but for some reason they just dropped off like 2 to 3 seconds a lap. And like you said, I was just struggling with front end grip then, and just getting the odd slowdown. But it was a good race in all. We managed to keep Rodders at bay, and I thought he was going to sneak past me as well. But yeah, all in all, good race.
Yeah, absolutely. We noticed the speed. We were wondering whether you had an issue in the first third of the race, because you were right up in the top part of the field, and then all of a sudden you were, what was it, Fergie, down to 14th?
Yep, 14th.
What happened there, Speed?
That was when I pitted. I pitted as soon as the pit window opened, knowing tried to minimise the tyre difference. Because if you have a massive grip difference across the axes of the tyres, you just tend to spin out more. So as soon as you can get in the pits and change, so I only changed my rear tyres. So, and then basically went the rest of the weight race with brand new rears and then half one front, and then. But it's easier to get it done at the beginning of the pit window, so like 15 minutes into the race. So you're not coming in at the end doing two tyres and having a 40% difference of grip.
Yeah, but in doing so, you clearly were suffering as a result of that towards the last 5 laps of the race, where your grip had dropped off before Brandon's and before, well, it seemed like Rodder's, and actually at one point was 11 seconds behind and then was 3 seconds behind you in the last 2 laps. So you were struggling with tyre grip towards the end of the race as a result of that early move.
Yeah, it was purely strategy. I know for a fact I wasn't going to be able to get past Brandon on pure pace alone, because he had 4 or 5 tenths a lap on me. So I just tried the alternate strategy, which is worth an extra 17 seconds. So it was worth a try. I know he was going to be tight between me, Brandon, and Rodders at the end. So I just thought, there's nothing to it. Let's try and do the alternate strat and see if we can get a win out of it.
Well done. That was a very fantastic racing with both you and Brandon there, particularly around the double left, and at the end of the Camel Straight. Just fantastic, really good and lovely to watch. And finally, to you, Rodders, a really safe and secure position third. Clearly, you wanted to be a bit higher than that. We saw you were pushing very hard in the last part of the race. How were your tyres and the car performing?
Fine. I did a standard pit halfway through. Tyres just were fine. I knew what Speed was up to straight away, because I did consider it, but I thought the guys, Speed and Brandon, had too much pace, I think, for a risky 2-tyre pit stop to probably work. But all at the end, but I seen what they were up to and I thought, keep at it, boys, keep at it. And I thought it was a lost cause, but you just keep the head down, and it turns out it wasn't. So it was a good wee bit. It was a lonely race in general, but exciting end. But a great race for me. It was just a solid one, and Rigel was constantly a threat behind. You had one spin or anything, and that would have been him past. So, and I think at the end he was actually catching me up slightly. So I thought overall very lucky, because Pinners usually his pace, Dave Crude pace, Rigel had pace, Evo had cracking pace in the GTR. So lucky to get that air gap at the end and just for a comfortable third.
Has anyone any news on Pinners? What was his incident?
I don't know. Pinners hadn't said a word. So I have no idea what was going on.
Wonderful. Okay, well, last question, Fergie, to you, to Rodders, if you've got some. Okay, great. Anything from Brandon, Speed, or Rodders before we close?
I'd just like to say thanks for the race, especially to Jake. That was really clean and good. I enjoyed that. You nearly had it. I kept making those mistakes, and it was very close last.
Yeah. Well, I'm from the commentator box with me and Fergie. I can tell you now, the racing looked absolutely fantastic. Very many congratulations, Brandon. Well done, and well done, Speed, for second, and an excellent third position with Rodders. Damn, I really wanted my commentator buddy to be third, but you know what? This wasn't his day. Thank you very much.
I've got an issue with commentator bias. Sorry,
Thank you very much. That was a really good race, and I look forward
to gents.
Back. Without any further ado, thank you very much to everyone else that raced. It was a good, clean race. by everybody, and a fantastic field of 20. We look forward to the next race, which is the last race in the GT3 League, and it's at where, Rodders?
It's Nordschliefe, and it's a endurance race. It's a reverse grid endurance race based on championship standings.
Oh, now isn't that a shame that you're not going to see me on that, because that's my favourite track and I'm super quick around there. Speed, your spaceship is outside, ready to take you off to the Andromeda Galaxy, and I think Brandon, yours is probably inbound too. So without no further doubt, thank you very much. Without further ado, thanks very much for joining us. Fergie, last words from you before we close.
Good night, gents, and well done. It's very good racing, fair and clean.
Yeah, good night all. Take care.